say we have a problem, but every night I make a new best friend, and the only problem is we like having a good time.
Hello, hello, hello. It's 8 p.m. It's Thursday night. You know what that means.
No, I
It's
don't.
yet
What does it
another
mean?
episode 51
Woo!
of Between Two Beards. Pluggo, my friend.
51 episodes.
51.
And this one's shaping up to be a big deal. Apparently, I'm reviewing Star Wars tonight.
Oh, you are reviewing Star Wars for the first time. The first review for the next 9 weeks. We will be getting reviews of Star Wars. Sorry, boss. Sorry, boss. You're not gonna be thrilled with us in a few minutes, boss. Sorry about this.
We do what we gotta do to you spend the money to make the money. If anything, the money I spent tonight will triple in value, and you can get 4 Chelsea greens, and you'll be like, "Oh, Pluggo, you're a genius." And yeah, that's just what we do here at Between Two Beards. Like I said, we don't adhere to any budget restrictions. We just don't.
Not usually. Not usually. Canada needs AEW soon, my friend. I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would imagine they're getting up there
I don't
soon.
know why they haven't quite made their way up there yet. I don't know. I don't understand booking, I guess. Shows, mapping them out. I don't understand how it works. Like,
I don't know.
Take what's available, or do you just, I mean, I'm sure Canada's available. I mean, the Rec Room's available. Love Pro Wrestling 4.
Good.
What does that say?
I don't know what that means from Tim. I don't know what that means. Am I missing something? Why not?
Menace?
Why not Menace? Is that what that is? Why not Menace?
Tim, you're gonna have to elaborate.
You're gonna have to elaborate on that one, my friend. I have no idea what that is in reference
I'm not gonna understand that. I spent the day in the hot sun. My brain is fried.
Is that Star Wars, like Phantom Menace? Why not Menace? Is that what I'm thinking?
I didn't start with Menace.
No, you went theatrical, right? You went the middle three, A New Hope.
We'll talk about it when we get into the review. That's called a tease. I'll explain how I watched, because it's not great. It's definitely something Pluggo would have done. I did it wrong. I'll just say that. But I did watch the first one. I do have some thoughts. We'll dive into that, as the kids say, down the road. Because you gotta hang out for a little bit. You gotta listen to us talk. It was a week. I mean, there's plenty of wrestling news. We don't have to talk Star Wars today.
No, but you are. So that's what's going to happen, and you're going to like it. You're going to like it.
That's fair. What do we got?
You need glasses, bro.
Listen, well, that's because you guys don't.
You're always like this. You're like, what do we got?
Yeah, it's because my screen is like. I think it's part of it is my screen is a little dark, and I don't know how to adjust the brightness on this MacBook.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, what does that say? But it's, it is what it is.
Star Wars pub night in Laura the Man's house on May 27th. That sounds like a damn good time right there.
Is that like a trivia? Is like a trivia night, or you guys just hang out, dress up like Star Wars characters? Like, what are we talking about here? Like,
I know you seem upset. Pluggo asked around, and we all agreed that he would watch them in the theatrical released way. So the way they were released, which obviously, as we came to find out years down the line, it went 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, and that's how Pluggo's going to watch it, because that's how most people have seen Star Wars for the first time.
Right,
that theatrical way.
Yeah. So that's what I did. I don't know. I had a few different opinions. I went with I figured, you know what? Why don't I watch it? And this is shout out to Mrs. Pluggo, and we'll talk about it. I'll watch it as if people who just saw it for the first time are watching it, because I literally was seeing it for the first time. So yeah,
fair with me. All right, well,
I need to watch them both ways. I don't know if I will ever do that. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, look at that. Food, drinks based on the bar from the original. Got it. Oh, what's come on.
What's what?
The Leaky Cauldron, right? Isn't that is that the name? No, I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
Sure. I don't know.
No. Alex, what's the name of the bar in the first one? Come on. Alex should know that. There it is, most Cantina. Yes. I knew someone would know it, for crying out loud. I like Star Wars, but I'm not a Star Wars fan like that. I can't tell you. In this scene, this person moved this way, and that meant this. I'm not into it.
Do we need to just do it now?
Nope. We're saving it because it might the jingle that we have for it,
by the way,
might be one of the greatest things we've ever come up with as a group. Say is,
so when we discussed this last week, Alex and JPJ and I were like, are we doing a graphic? Are we just doing it? Is this like a new segment? Like, and everybody's like, hell yeah. And Alex is like, I asked Zach to whip us up something. Well, I said, okay. And then I think it was the other day, I was like, did we get anything? And he goes, oh yeah, we got something. And he sent it to us, and my jaw dropped, and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's very good.
But there was a lot of wrestling. Backlash was this weekend.
I figured that's where we would start. We would go through WrestleMania Backlash, have a little review of it.
Before we do that, though, do we want to, because we've got Spencer's attention.
Oh, he is here. And
he's here.
He did say right at the top, please don't spend our money. And unfortunately,
we don't listen to that.
He should have said that a few hours ago.
Yes.
Because Pluggo went out and Pluggo did what Pluggo does.
Yeah, I didn't ask.
And he spent all the money. So if you're just hopping in the chat, Pluggo's going to explain. I don't even know what's going on. He posted on Twitter that he got me a gift.
Yeah.
I have an idea of what it's going to be. I think I'm going to get ragged on for a second here. I'm not 100% sure. But Pluggo said, I got you a gift tonight, and I overspent the budget.
Yes.
It's been a few weeks since we've done budget work.
We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary. We might as well spend that capital while we got it.
Because I still have no idea what this is. So
you're a Boston Celtics fan. We will talk wrestling tonight.
We're going to talk Backlash right after this. So stick around for all the Backlash.
All the Backlash, all the Roman news, all the Chris Stanley.
There's a lot of wrestling to talk about.
A lot of it. And we'll talk Star Wars here in a little bit. But yes, so you're a Celtics fan. And last night, I believe on All Elite Sidecast, you made the declaration Celtics are going to win the championship. They're going to the finals, whatever. You're very confident. And then they take an L. They're down 3-2 to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Can I just say something first?
Yes.
Still very confident.
That's fine. Absolutely, you should be. So I know a certain Bucks fan who works for that lovely website, friends of ours, Fightful, Alex Pulowski, Mr. Sourgrass himself. And I said, hey, would you mind, JPJ, big Celtics fan, he's been running his mouth, talking this and that. I said, hey, you mind talking some smack back? And he did it in the most Alex Pulowski way. He was very nice about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, making their budget-blowing debut here on Between Two Beards, the one, the only Alex Pulowski talking about the Bucks Celtics.
Hello, JPJ. Your co-host messaged me, asked me to talk a little trash about your Celtics, my Bucks. But that's not my style. Mostly I like to gloat after the fact because I'm also really superstitious. And if I were to talk trash about how your Celtics blew it in Game 5, then if somehow the Bucks were to go on and lose Game 6 and 7, then it would be my fault for talking trash. That's just how my brain works. So I won't talk trash. I'll let that guy talk all the trash that he wants. But we had a rough time at the end of Game 4. And you guys had a rough time at the end of Game 5. So we'll see what holds in Game 6 and 7. Otherwise, may the best team win.
Like I said,
that's
very nice, very nice about it. Yeah.
I respect the way he thinks. I understand the superstitiousness. I used to be this way, and then my team started winning all the time for the last 20 years.
You got cocky.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. Last night, awful loss. And we're going to talk wrestling, guys, I promise. 2 minutes. Awful loss. Terrible. They should be ashamed. They should be ashamed that they blew that lead. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. With that being said, this series is incredibly even. The winner of this series, no matter who it is, which I still think it'll be the Celtics, no matter who it is, I think they are going to the finals in the East.
Okay.
That is Middleton gone. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's what I think.
Okay.
And that's how I feel. I think just like the Bucks came in, and just like the Bucks won game 1 and 5 in Boston, and we won game 4 in Milwaukee, I would not be shocked at all. Hell, I actually think the Celtics will go into Milwaukee in game 6 and win. I don't know what will happen in game 7. Game 7s can be crazy. Anything can happen. Yeah. But I think the Celtics are going to force a game 7. That's what I think. They're usually that type of team. And if you watch the series, even though it's 3-2 Bucks, the Celtics are the better team. They're tremendously better. And it's just, yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Maybe I should hit him up after the Bucks win.
If they do, maybe.
But that was very nice of him. I said, he didn't want to talk too much trash. I could tell he kind of wanted to, but he's like, yeah, you know.
Hey, I
respect that. Yeah, because, like, you know, I do that all the time.
Thank you, Alex Pawlowski. Yeah, I've been a fan of him for a while, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you're wrong. So I knew you'd love that. That's your guy. He's a Bucks fan. I thought, I got to see if I can pull this off for you, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, let's talk some Backlash. Tim, I don't know why you hate. I actually thought for a wrestling show, the Backlash was actually pretty good. I thought it was actually pretty good. I mean, you can talk about the build, which was trash. None of it mattered. That I get it. I get that part of it. But from a wrestling standpoint, it was a good show.
Yes, Lord. He was a gentleman and a scholar in that trash talk. I love the shout out though to Giannis. Like he had the Giannis shirt on and everything. It was perfect. But yeah, and I think that we talked about it 2 weeks ago or last week, was it? Yeah, it was last week. We talked about Backlash and we were having trouble getting excited about it because the build sucked. Everything was kind of a rehash. It was a rehash. It wasn't kind of a rehash. But it was when you get to Backlash and you have that lowered expectation and you knew the wrestling was going to be good. All the people involved can go in the ring. There wasn't a bad match that happened on the card.
Oh, that's not true. Omos and Bobby Lashley sucked.
But it was I thought it was better than Omos and Bobby Lashley from Mania.
Yeah, okay. But my
point being, like, the wrestling you knew was going to be fine. They didn't do anything crazy. So, I mean, but it was a solid pay-per-view. I thought the matches were fine. I blew my expectations out of the water. But again, it was one of those things where we've already seen it. Ryan called Pito.
Smartest man here right there.
Man.
Smartest man here. But let's dive into it a little bit. Well, that's the main.
As the unofficial godfather of your children, Ryan, you better hope everything stays on, because I will teach them the ways of Pluggo. Uncle Pluggo in the house.
I thought the match to start the show, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, was amazing.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Their match at WrestleMania was fantastic, and this match was better than their match at WrestleMania. We can talk about what happened on Raw and how we're going to see it again for a third time, probably inside Hell in a Cell. That is what it is. I don't think it needs to happen a third time, but even if it does, you know what? Cody needs to win a third time. That's what needs to happen.
Keep it rolling.
But regardless of that, I thought this match ruled. The back and forth. The last 10 minutes of this match, the back and forth and reversals, and it was incredible. And the crowd was super into it. I was super into it. I agree, Bo. Cody.
Yeah, and I agree with you too. Cody should win. I do like the idea. If you're going to run back rematch after rematch, whatever. But, like, I love the idea of just, like, a wrestler having another wrestler's number. Like Seth Rollins, like, you do the trilogy, he beats him a third time, and then maybe like a year down the line or year and a half down the line or something, you go back to it and just like Seth can't beat Cody. Like, I like that idea, the storyline. That match was great. Yeah, the 6-man tag was still good. It was a good 6-man tag. It just, it took a lot of the wind out of the sails when it didn't matter.
It shouldn't have been the main event. The main event should have been the I Quit match with Charlotte and Ronda.
And I think
that,
I texted you and I said, hey, JPJ, like, after Ronda Charlotte, I might just call it. I stayed for Madcap and Corbin. Like, I just didn't feel the need to stay up till 11:30 to watch a match that I knew was going to be good and I could watch the next day that had no stakes on it. And they didn't do anything at the end of that pay-per-view to go, I got to tune in tomorrow. That's what I mean. Like, I always feel like pay-per-views should have that, like, okay, like AEW is really good about it. And I don't want to make an AEW WWE thing out of this, but they're really good about that, leaving you with something at the end where you just go, okay, I got to tune in Wednesday. What's that about? They didn't do that at Backlash, which I thought was like, oh, okay. And now there's all the rumors that Roman is leaving.
Well, we're going to get into that after we go through Backlash. We're going to talk about that this week too. Yeah, I agree. And we'll talk about the 6-man because I do.
Yeah, shout out to Bo Hayes, Cody, to see it. My
for sure.
I'm getting my comments a little later. I think my stuff's not scrolling.
We'll get it together, will you, over there?
That'll never happen. If I got it together, this show wouldn't have made it a year.
But Cody ends up beating Seth again. Fantastic.
Yeah,
and I love the way.
Shout
out to Throwback for the resub. Appreciate that, my friend.
Take Throwback's lead here, and everybody hit us with a sub. Hit us with that subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Throw us the. We're doing lots of big things here at Love Wrestling. It's going crazy. So take his lead, folks. Take his lead.
Absolutely.
Hit that sub button.
I did like the way it ended though, with Seth trying to pull the tights on Cody and then Cody reversing. I mean, it's Cody kind of using the tights and going, you know what? You're going to try to beat me like a shithead. I'm going to beat you like a shithead.
And I know everybody's like, oh, he's working heel. No, he's not working heel.
No. He just one-upped him. He one-upped him, and sometimes you do that shit. That's the normal.
Ultimate babyface move is to, like, the heel try some shit and then you pull what the
Eddie Guerrero was as babyface as he could be, faking that he was getting chair shots and doing all this shady shit, and the crowd would be losing their minds, eating it up because he was excellent and he was a good guy doing shady shit. And that's what Cody just was like, no, you tried to cheat? I'm going to cheat. Fuck you. I'm going to beat you. And that's what happened. So
I did feel like Seth slighted us a little bit by not coming out in some new gear. Like, that gear's dope, but it's like,
well, it's WrestleMania Backlash, you know? So
but
he's got to just wear the same stuff he wore at WrestleMania because everything was the same. We saw everything that we saw at WrestleMania.
I know, and I just think you should change the fucking gear.
WrestleMania Raw, WrestleMania SmackDown, WrestleMania Backlash. How many fucking WrestleMania things are there?
Money in the bank, baby.
For the love of God. You know what I'm excited about? You know what's in Boston this year? WrestleMania Survivor Series in November. It's happening it's happening in Boston.
Googled it. It's 13.5-hour drive, man.
There we go. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Boston weekend.
For you, it's
I'm
like
hoping
30,
they give us
like 30 minutes.
They won't, but I'm hoping they give us like a weird takeover from the NXT that I don't watch anymore. But I would still go.
I was going to say too, I do want to shout out Ronda and Charlotte. I thought that was a much better match than
we're going to get there, Pluggo.
Where are we at?
We just talked about the first match. We keep jumping around here.
Well,
we're going through the whole event.
There's nothing. What happened in the second match? It was
you're the one that said that Bobby Lashley and Omos was good.
I said it was better than the WrestleMania match. Did I say it was good? Did those words come out of my mouth?
I mean,
I give you a gift.
I mean, we can rewind the tape if we want. I'm pretty sure what I heard was there wasn't a bad match on the card. That's what I heard you say.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
This is how
Omos, they first of all, Bobby Lashley wins at Mania as he should have. Yeah. Right move, right? This match, Bobby Lashley still going pretty good. They're going back and forth. Omos just sucks. No offense. Like, he's probably a swell guy, but in the ring, garbage. So, like, oh, it's so bad. And then why is Omos on the show? Because he's a giant, right?
Yeah.
So if he's a giant, why do they book him in a match where he does not look like he's a giant? Physically in stature, yes. But Bobby Lashley was whipping him around, throwing him around.
They want to show his range, bro.
His range is he can't wrestle. That's his range. And then at the end of the match, he needs MVP to hit Lashley with the cane in order for him to win. So you make it so the giant looks as small as he can be to get a shit victory over Bobby. Like, what does that serve? What does that serve?
It's Bobby freaking Lashley. He's not going to get squashed.
I don't want him to get squashed. The match shouldn't happen.
I know you shouldn't book the match.
Omos shouldn't be on the show.
I wasn't not entertained by the. It was fine. It was an okay match on a card that I didn't expect it to be an okay match. It is what it is, man. That's why I said, you want to sit here and dissect the Omos Bobby Lashley match? We can, or we can jump to the good stuff, the better stuff.
Well, after
this
Bobby
is
Lashley
love
and
wrestling,
Omos.
after all.
No, hey, look at no.
We love it, all of it.
And after Omos and Bobby Lashley, we did get some more good stuff. We got AJ Styles and Edge, which I thought this match was also better than their WrestleMania counterpart. But the big story coming out of it at the end was Damian Priest was barred from ringside, even though he showed up at ringside. So cool.
He showed up in the entranceway. He didn't technically get ringside. He didn't cross the barrier, bro. That is the entry. That is the walkway, not the ringside. The ringside
I will not.
Not what?
No. If you are barred from ringside, you should not be outside ever. You don't come out near the ring. I don't care.
Okay.
That's a stupid rule.
I'm just saying semantics.
Oh, we're gonna get there. I have an opinion on Shayna Baszler. I'm gonna talk about Baszler later. He was on the ramp, so I know that, but that is dumb. The way that they did that was dumb.
Private chat just said he passed he crossed the threshold only because Finn Balor pushed him.
So he comes out, Finn Balor comes out, they're fighting, they're doing whatever, and then we see a hooded figure come out and attack AJ. Edge gets the victory over AJ Styles with the help of this hooded figure. And I loved on commentary the whole time. They're like, who is he? Who is this guy? They were like referencing it so hard. And then we come to find out that it was one Rhea Ripley,
which
was rumored.
Dope.
I loved it. And she has aligned with Damian Priest and Edge as the Judgment Day. I was very happy with this. I saw some people were not super thrilled with it. Judgment Day
those people are wrong. Rhea makes it instantly better.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm so happy for Rhea. Hopefully, I would hope this leads to a Rhea Ripley Bianca Belair feud for that Raw Women's title. That's what I would love to see. Tim, when we go through this card, I have an idea for Shayna, so I want you to stick around so we can talk a little bit about Shayna Baszler. But
who did you think it was going to be?
I thought it was going to. I mean, the two names that were rumored and pitched were Rhea Ripley or Ciampa. Those were the two. I was hoping it was Rhea Ripley. Like when it came to be her, I was like, nice. Like I was excited. But I was expecting it to be one of those two. So I still expect, and Edge said it on Monday, that they're looking to grow. Like they're looking to still add people. So I feel like Ciampa is a name that Ciampa should be Cody's first loss. What? That's out of nowhere. Wow.
Tim's just coming in with those
coming in hot tonight, Tim.
Hot takes.
Coming in hot. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I just loved it. I'm just happy that Rhea is going to be showcased because she should be, in my opinion, Rhea Ripley should be up at the top of the women's card, like with Bianca, with Becky, Charlotte. Like she should be up there in that group.
Yeah, and getting to work with Edge every day.
Amazing. Ooh, and I think this also allows Edge to be around because he's Edge and people want to see Edge and he's a big star, but he doesn't have to wrestle all the time now because he can have Priest do his dirty work and Rhea do her dirty work and all this stuff. And I still think I agree with you, Bo. I think Ciampa will still join and they'll keep growing.
Yeah.
I just think this is great. Edge can talk. He can cut the promos. He can be at ringside, help them win, cheat to help them win, be a dickhead, that type of thing. And I just think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful.
He went the Rhea Ripley haircut too.
Yeah, she would. What, all black?
No, well, he did the cut. She went all black.
Yeah,
Edge cut his hair for Monday.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, Judgment Day wasn't really like clicking for me. It just wasn't. I just didn't like. I thought it was too hokey with the light, like whatever, and it just wasn't quite what I was wanting. But then when it was Rhea, and I admittedly was sitting there thinking, yeah, it's Ciampa. This is going to be Ciampa. And then it's Rhea, and I was like, oh, damn, let's go. Yeah. Business is, because you don't see a ton of that. They don't do a lot of these intergender factions all the time. And I want to see what Edge's influence on Rhea means for the women's division.
Yeah.
You know, so we already know what it's going to mean for Damian Priest in the mid-card scene for the, you know, US title and things of that nature. But I want to see what happens with Rhea. And if they go, he says he wants to add more. Is there another female talent that he wants to add with Rhea?
I would like them to add one more guy and one more girl.
Yeah.
And so they have, you know, the 5
so
total.
Who's the other girl you'd like him to add? Because we talked about Ciampa being the other guy.
Yeah.
Who do you Alexa Bliss? Well, that's 2.
Nah, I think she should stay a face. She should come back and stay a face.
Well,
Tim said it earlier, but Baszler I think would fit. I wouldn't be opposed to a heel Shotzi Blackheart if you wanted to make that move. Like
Lacey Evans.
She's on we can talk about that later tonight too, with that whole friggin' thing they did there. What the hell are they doing?
Shotzi's not a bad shot.
Like imagine if Shotzi dyed her hair black, like jet black or something like that, or along that line, or even if she dyed it like dark purple to fit the vibe with all her vibe in general. I think that would work. Lacey could work. I just think that they have other plans for her.
But yeah, I think Shotzi would be a great shot. I think it'd be perfect. She'd fit the vibe. They're not doing anything with her at the moment.
Would we be opposed? Okay.
Shotzi and Rhea with under Edge's tutelage, just running roughshod over the already.
Raquel's a good one. Would we be opposed? Okay, so Rhea is feuding with Liv, right? Would we be opposed to eventually Rhea getting Liv to turn to the dark side and join the group?
I mean, Liv's already shown that she could do it with the Riot Squad.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's
she does have that Harley Quinn aesthetic, you know.
And as somebody texted me the other day and hey now, but
she's actually texted
me the other day.
They just don't give her the time on television to show that she's good. So.
Anytime a women's wrestler wants to just get some edge to her, no pun intended. Like she just puts leather on. So Liv's got the leather. Look down. She's ready to go. Just slide her right in. She's already leathered up. You don't have to get her a new costume. I think it's perfect. I'd be down with that. Like I said, I'm more intrigued now that they're adding layers to it because I think it wasn't stale. It just wasn't hitting with the 2 of them. Mm-hmm. But now that there's more going on and you're going to see some you're going to see Edge's influence over the women's division. I think that'll be fun to see where they go with it. So I'm excited. Edge-sided.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Don't ever do that again.
Egg-sided? No?
Good Lord. Okay. We then got the only title match on the card. We got Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's Championship in an I Quit match versus Ronda Rousey. This was an excellent I Quit match, I thought. I thought this far exceeded their match at WrestleMania. They beat the crap out of each other. I love the spot where Charlotte threw the video camera. I had never seen that before. She just picked up. I was like, oh, she's going to throw the camera. Like, I was like, what? I don't know. But
I had to do did she just throw the camera?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I was like, those have to be expensive. That was a gimmick camera, right? That had to be a gimmick camera. I'm just going to let her break and throw a camera like that.
That's why she's really off TV is because
Vince exactly. They find her. You can't be breaking cameras, Charlotte.
Yeah, what the
Jesus.
hell?
Beth could join the fold, but Beth is playing it off on social media like she's disappointed in everybody that's going with Edge. So
how does that work? How does that work at home?
I don't know. When Rhea joined, Beth tweeted and she was like, "No, not you." I don't know what that meant. I was like, "Well, you don't know this is happening? He ain't telling you his ideas at home."
You're at the dinner table.
So you're telling me that in kayfabe, they're at the dinner table, Beth with the kids, and Edge is just an asshole over here, like he's just being a dickhead.
And before anybody says it, in kayfabe, they've told us 1,000 times that they're married. They tagged together against Ms. Maurice.
Yes.
So yeah, you're at the dinner table. The kids are talking about their day. Beth's like, "Hey, how was your day, little one? How was your day? Hey, Adam, what did you do today?" And he's like, "Nothing. Leave me alone. I'm not gonna. You think you knew me? You never knew me, Beth." And then she's like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done. Like, go. And then he's like on Raw, just recruiting. Like, everybody. She's like, you weren't going to mention that to me? You weren't going to give me this? You weren't going to give me the spot, Edge? That's what she's probably like. I'm more badass than Rhea Ripley.
Is she though?
There you go. Who's better? Who's more badass?
Now?
Rhea or Beth?
In the current day?
Well, in the current day, I think it's Rhea just strictly on best, not in her prime, but prime Beth Phoenix is fantastic. I don't think
100%.
There's not a whole bunch of people that could touch prime Beth.
But I agree. I think it's Rhea. I think it's Rhea.
I guess we'll see when she's like, it's an Edge on a pole match.
Yeah. On the other spot that I liked, there were cool spots in this match. The other spot that I liked is when they had that kind of like lightsaber duel at the top of the ramp with the kendo sticks, where they were like, and Ronda Rousey, I was like, oh, this is incredible. And they were beating each other up, and Ronda Rousey ends up getting the victory. She was the way, and then when they got in the ring and Charlotte was started going, Happy Mother's Day, Happy Mother's Day, Ronda, and I was like, oh shit, I was like, this is it. I was like, it's over now. It's over now.
Was it you that tweeted how nice it is of Ronda to work on her first Mother's Day?
Yeah, I did. I tweeted that. I said, oh, I go, very noble. I said, shout out to Ronda for having to work on her first Mother's Day.
Yeah. I was like, God.
Incredible stuff.
She broke her freaking arm, though, and Charlotte's now off of TV forever, and Ronda's your SmackDown Women's Championship, and they have no contenders lined up because it's SmackDown.
Yeah. So we'll see where they go, but that list is very short of who is believable to beat Ronda on that brand, and I don't know. Well, actually, if Tim's still here, this is where I want to talk about it, because I do think, not that they've booked her in any sort of way that she deserves to automatically be thrown to the title picture, but I do think it should be Shayna Baszler. I think there's already a built-in story. Shayna Baszler was helping Ronda learn the ankle lock. I think Shayna comes out. She says, I know you better than anybody. I'm a 2-time NXT champion, blah, blah, blah. I want to go. I think they should fight. And then I think Ronda should win. And then I think Shayna should start to be by Ronda's side. Yeah. And
I think Ronda would give her that match because of the friendship.
100%.
I don't think you have to
100%.
Do anything. That's an easy story. It's a layup.
Exactly. And I think it's too easy that it's too easy not to book it. Like, I just think that is a simple, already built-in story. You don't need to add anything special to it. Both former MMA people, let them have an MMA shoot style kind of match where they beat the shit out of each other and submit. And they are 2 of the 4 horsewomen. Yes. And the other 2 got fired. But cool. But yes. And I think that's a story like the boss said behind Love Wrestling. It's too easy not to tell it. And then you can have $50 on Natalya. Yeah, Natalya's in NXT right now, though, so who knows? But yeah, Natalya seems to be the easy pick of like simple first challenger,
that's another one where I think you do that. You probably do a Shayna, then you do a Natalya. You kind of give her these, like, we know she's gonna have good matches with them because they have chemistry, layups, and then you buy yourself some time because SummerSlam's coming up, and then you got the Money in the Bank, so you don't know. She's going to have to defend these titles against somebody. You can't just not have her defend the title with your hottest summer of the year ever.
Yeah, it's true.
Stadium show.
So we'll have to see, and we'll talk about the. I would be all in on Xia Li, but again, this is the problem with WWE is they built nobody to step in. Like Xia Li, I would be all in, but Xia Li has not been built to be anywhere near there.
Yeah, and we know she's losing.
Yeah, like she has not been built. And Raquel's another one, Bo. She just got there. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. I would love that. Raquel's a monster of a woman. Like that would be cool. And that's probably one of the ways they will go. But Raquel doesn't deserve that spot. Neither does Xia. Neither does even Baszler. What has Baszler done on television that makes her deserve that spot? Nothing. There's no woman on there.
She carried Nia Jax for years.
2-time women tag champs. 2-time.
I love Shayna Baszler. I stand for Shayna Baszler.
But I think that's a bigger problem than just the Ronda who goes for it. Like that's WWE's problem, because if you look at the roster, they have talent on the roster. I would be all for that, but I think Sasha and Naomi are not involved in this conversation right now because of the women tag champs. So I don't think that they're going to be
to involve the women's tag champs in
exactly
the storyline.
Yeah, and that's just kind of I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with it. It's this problem. They don't heat anybody up. That's not you gotta heat us that they just kind of plug and play, especially in the women's division. And it's sad. Like we know the first few challengers against Ronda aren't winning. At least give us some reasons, rack up some wins for somebody, and start building. Like right now, you should be building. If Charlotte, this is what's going to happen. Charlotte's just going to come back, or Bayley's going to come back, and they'll be the one that ends up beating Ronda ultimately. But then again, it's just another 4 horsewoman that doesn't need to be heated up to win a title.
Exactly.
Put the rocket on somebody else in their division and make us believe. Make us believe.
The first real challenger, I mean, it's probably going to be Sasha whenever they drop those tag titles. But I mean, she's going to hold it until we get to, I would assume we go to Mania next year when she's fighting. I think it'll be the man, Becky Lynch. God, but the first real challenger.
Out too. Ugh.
Yeah, the first real challenger I would bet would be Sasha Banks when her and Naomi drop the tag titles, or depending on how long she's out, of the rematch with Charlotte. That's what I would think, which is terrible when you think about it.
HCW Sports in the house.
And I agree with the comment. The WWE puts themselves in these corners. They have the talent 100%. And I was listening to our buddy SRS this week, and he was talking about, like, you know, I don't have NXT on the docket to talk about, but like they're doing their breakout tournament with the women this week. It started, and they have Roxy in there, and they have Io Shirai doing nothing down there. They have all this talent in NXT that they could bring 2 or 3 of those people to the main roster, and they could fit on SmackDown because SmackDown has no women.
Yeah.
They have a deep women's roster if you count NXT in the main roster, but it's all like HCW Sports said. It's the way they book them. Yeah, Doudrop would be amazing. I love Doudrop.
But she's taken so many losses already
I know.
that it's just hard to get behind her, but that's what they do. But yeah, they've got plenty of women down in developmental that they could stand to bring up and at least get some new life into the division. But
yeah, and I hope it doesn't get that way with EO. Hey, Dan, what's going on, my friend? Always good to see you.
Hey, what's good, buddy?
We're doing good, man. Talking a little Wrestlemania Backlash. Specifically now, we're talking about the SmackDown Women's Division and who are certain people that we would believe to be legitimate challengers for Ronda Rousey right now for that title. And their list is not high. But I do get worried. Hopefully we don't have a Dakota Kai situation when it comes to EO. No, you did not miss that. That's coming up, my friend. We're saving that. That's going to be at the halfway point. So about another 15, 20 minutes, we're going to be getting that one. But
I feel like there's all this pressure on it now, but I mean,
I'm just going to let you go, bro. I'm not going to fight you. I'm just going to give you a review, and then that's it. Yeah.
Do I have to give it like an out of 10 rating or something?
You can go. How about out of 5? You go 5 stars. You'll go. You know the 3 stars out of 5, 2.5. You know, we'll do whatever.
All right.
Something like that. Well, Dan, we did talk about Shayna because I think Shayna should be the first legit. If it maybe not the first one, if that's cool, but I think Baszler should be the first legitimate challenger. They should have a good match, and then I think Shayna should then start like aligning with Ronda Rousey. And I think Shayna can talk better than Ronda. I think that gives her a microphone plus a badass friend where they beat the crap out of, I just think that's the way they should go about it. I don't know if they will, but that's my personal pick. But yeah, no, I thought this match was dramatically better than the WrestleMania match. I thought it was good. And coming out of it, we do get the news that Charlotte Flair broke her, what was the radius?
Her arm.
The radius, right?
Yeah, her arm.
Broke her radius, which is a legit injury. I have not had it, but I have had friends playing sports that have had that injury.
She's off TV, man. So now what do you do?
That's a great idea by HCW, a female outsiders with Baszler and Ronda. Yeah. That'd be dope as hell. Just beating the crap out of everybody. And yeah, you can put if you don't want her to be the first one, the next month to 6 weeks, just have Shayna start running through the lower card of women on SmackDown every week, And then you run into it, and it's like I said, it's a story that's too easy to tell. That's where they should go. And if Charlotte's going to be out for a while, I think Shayna versus Ronda, if built properly, is a proper SummerSlam match for Ronda Rousey. If built properly and the right story, I think that's a big enough match. I really do. But anyway, then we got my boy Madcap Moss getting a victory over Happy Corbin. That match sucked. However, I love Madcap Moss. I am on the Madcap Moss train. I like him. I don't know why, but I like
squashed Corbin in your stream with Josh Robinson.
He should have.
He didn't quite squash him this time around. I thought, yeah, I'm with you on the Madcap Moss thing in terms of just the dude's funny. He's got charisma. I mean, even if he decided to drop this goofy suspenders belt gimmick thing and do something, I think he could run with it because, like, he was really fun and charming and energetic on the pre-show I watched. But yeah, the match was all right, I guess. He got the win. It was
one of my favorite things on the pre-shows. He didn't do it in this one because he was being serious, but is when he makes Booker T laugh with the jokes. That's one of my favorite shticks.
And he said, and then Booker T's like, you realize you got suspenders and a belt on? And he was like, yeah, these pants ain't coming off.
I like him. I don't know why. But I like Madcap Moss. I was pumped. And
of course, Booker T wouldn't like anything because Booker T hates everything.
Yeah, and they do. The suspenders do keep his pants up. Yeah, but good for Madcap Moss. I'm glad he got the win. With Corbin, you never know. They put Corbin in like Corbin dominated the Royal Rumble this year. Yeah. Like if they just put him in, they make him do. But Corbin pulled out a new move. He did a senton. He did a senton splash. A new move for Baron Corbin. He usually doesn't change his
Corbin is a fantastic wrestler. He's super good in the ring.
He's got a great moveset. He's got the deep six rules. Yeah, great looking move.
End of Days is great.
End of Days is really protected.
They just give him the most awful
He has that move where he like gets whipped to the corner and like goes out around the corner and comes in with the clothesline. That's different and cool. He's got a good moveset.
But they're just like, hey, listen, you're the king. You're happy now. You're sad.
Look at when they did the King of the Ring. Obviously, they overdid the King Corbin stuff to the end of time. They always do. But when they did the King of the Ring and he won it, he was having unreal matches that whole tournament. That guy can go. I agree. If only he was more interesting than a wet carrot, he would be one of the top guys in the company.
But that's another one of those things. I think we were talking about Veer. Like Corbin is a super interesting guy on like social media, and he does like
barbecue stuff. He's a chef. He can cook. He does like he's a huge sports fan. But
they're like
the draft pick, for the Kansas City Chiefs and shit. Like but they're like, well, I liked Sad Corbin though. I thought that was some of the best stuff he did. But like they just tell him to go out and do this generic stuff, and it's like
that's what I mean. Like Sad Corbin, as good as it was, it has a shelf life.
Yeah,
Constable Corbin has a shelf life. Like you let him be him and see where he could go with it, but they just don't do that. They want all these goofy ass characters, and you're just like,
unbelievable.
We like a little reality to our wrestlers, they're people. Like Veer's not growling at people on the streets when he's going to the grocery store. Why does he have to be that guy? They did it with Omos. Why does he have to be the Nigerian monster and just yell? Like, why can't he have more to him?
I agree.
Why can't he have layers? Why do they do that with these people? I don't understand it. Layers, like ogres. Ogres have layers,
It's true.
Shrek, shout it out.
Yeah, because you said that Veer has a good social media presence, right? Like
he's well dressed. I don't know if he's fun, but he's like articulate. He's well dressed. He's probably funny. I just feel like and then you have him on TV and he's just yelling.
Unbelievable. All right, to round up,
he has a great story. He has $1 million.
Yeah, the $1 million arm. They made a movie about him.
Major League Baseball.
Yeah, they literally made a movie about him with the very.
They're like,
handsome
but hey,
John Hamm.
Just come out and scream and murder people, and we're gonna hope that sticks.
Just
forever.
growl, scream. Don't pretend you're an absolute savage.
Yeah.
Dan's saying that Veer's Twitter is great.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to give him a follow up. I'm just gonna give him a blind follow. I trust you too. I trust your opinion.
The next week he's gonna be like, "What the?"
Yeah, he's gonna be like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Like, all right.
This will be the day he starts screaming on Twitter.
Yeah, Veer. Anyway, then we had the main event, which we kind of talked about, the six man with Roman Reigns and the Usos against RK Bro and Drew McIntyre. This match was what I thought it was going to be. It was good. I expected the Bloodline to win. They won. It was a solid match. I don't think it should have been the main event. I think Ronda and Charlotte should have. It was the only title match.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw a pretty much like not. It was just a normal. They all hit their stuff. I love Randy Orton right now. He is amazing. When he hit Roman with the RKO, that was a legit cool. Like I was like, oh, the crowd lost their mind there. Yeah, it was a solid match, but it's all about Randy Myers. Yeah,
because Roman.
Exactly. Well, Randy Myers, excellent. Another excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Roman is going into that territory where it's like, and I'll use the analogy because it's the Patriots were like, you just want to see him get beat. And when Randy Orton hits a smooth, awesome, beautiful RKO, you're like, this is it. This is it. It's going to happen. And then it doesn't happen. And you're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
God damn it. Not again. And that's where that's the territory he's in right now as a performer. Is we all know it's great work. We all know it's good stuff, but it's like, God, we just want to see him take an L.
It's true. And and that's how the pay-per-view ended. And like I said, I thought it was a solid show. I thought the show was better than the lead up to the show. But I thought all in all, Backlash was it was a pretty fun show. Nothing special came out of it, but it was good. But some news coming out of that is a couple things about some big time performers, one female and one male, about us maybe not seeing them around that often. So Charlotte, obviously the injury played into it. She broke her radius. She's going to be out for an extended period of time. The rumor is that she might be getting married and going on her honeymoon and doing some personal stuff that way. So good for her if that is true, but I don't know. I try not to pay too much attention to personal things like that. Like let them go be normal people. Right. And then the other one is, I believe it was in Trenton, New Jersey at a house show. After the match, Roman Reigns took the mic. And he said something along the lines of like, I'm going into a new phase, a different phase in my career. And I don't know if I'll ever be back here again. And then kind of Fightful and some other reports came out that said that he signed a new career. He signed a new contract. And
maybe he just doesn't like New Jersey, bro.
I mean, I can't blame him. But anyway.
But this all circles back to what we just talked about with if Roman left tomorrow, who fills the void?
Well, here's my thing though. So if the rumor comes to be true and Roman takes time off, like he's not booked for anything in all of June or July. So if you're telling me that Roman is going to not be a regular person on television or off TV until we get closer to SummerSlam, if he's going to be using the Brock Lesnar schedule, why you give him both belts? Why do you make both belts one belt and then give it to the guy that's gonna be gone?
I don't think he's gonna be, but there's
or maybe he just does, hey, I'm gonna do TV and I'm not doing any more house shows. I'm done with the house shows. I want to work once a week, twice if you need me. That's it.
And let's not gloss over the fact that this man has been doing it for a decade at the top, top of the field. He's got a family. He's beat leukemia. Twice. Like the guy's twice. Yeah, he's probably like, I think I've earned. He's on God mode. He's like, I think I've earned. I don't have to do these house shows if I don't want to. I can get a different schedule. I think that there's no chance in hell he's done. I think that they're definitely not going to. I don't think this would be the time to walk away for Roman. But if he wants to go do a movie or something this summer, they got to come up with something quick. Because they, like you said, they kind of wrote themselves into he has both belts now.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't get why you would make that move.
Ready to just beat him.
Yeah. And maybe this forces, like Dan just said, maybe this forces them to elevate the mid-card titles, which was something I think a lot of us are already pining for anyway. Like, I want the IC title to matter again. I want the US title to matter again. Maybe this forces their hand to make them matter. I don't know, but you need to have your,
you got 20 titles and you only care about like 3 of them. Like, what's the point?
It's true. I feel like really they only care about 1 of them. But
yeah,
they only really care about the main women's titles and the WWE Undisputed, whatever the hell it is, title now. Yeah, that's all they care about.
That's 3.
Yeah, it's like, else? What about the women's tag titles? Like, where's the story with those? Where's the story for the US title? Where's the story for the 24/7 title? Has more of a story than the IC title of the US title.
Like, you have to, that's
crazy.
I have to think about, like, I know Theory's the US champ, and then is it still Ricochet?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Like, those they're not on the card they couldn't get a pre-show match for Backlash. You couldn't get something to do. You can't.
It was one title up for grabs on Backlash. You couldn't throw in one random Theory versus whoever match for the title.
They didn't get a Mania spot either.
Unbelievable. No, they fought on the SmackDown before.
Yeah, like, I don't
understand what are we
that
doing?
mindset.
Like, and again, I'm going to sound old, but when I first started watching wrestling, the Intercontinental title was treated with as much respect as the world title.
Because you knew that person was the next guy.
Yeah.
You knew, like, Rock or Austin or
even before that, for me, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, all those guys won that title. Razor Ramon.
Yep. And you knew
Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H. All those guys won the IC title, and it was like, okay, if they won the IC title, it became believable that eventually they could be world champion one day. Like, that's how I viewed it as a kid. I'd be like, oh, he's an IC champ. That means that down the line he could be world champion.
It does come down. HEW Sports, if you want to put that comment back up, he said it comes all down to the writing. I don't know if that's true. I bet those writers are coming up with 1,000 ideas. It comes down to Vince making it important, or Bruce, or whoever Vince's like little clique is saying, no, we need to make these important, because if you can come up with 1,000 ideas for writing, they have to approve it though. The writers don't just get to write, because I can't imagine if I'm a writer on Raw or SmackDown, that I'm happy with the stuff that's getting put out. I don't know how it works. I've never been in the writer's room. I've never been in charge, part of a creative team, but I'd have to imagine that if I'm coming up with, things that I think are gold and Vince is saying, nope, call him Theory. Like, all right, shit. Like, I don't know if I want that on my resume, that I was part of the lowest rated SmackDown and Raw era ever.
No, I mean, you shouldn't. But
I don't think that they're giving them the green light to try some things.
I agree. Dan had a comment a little earlier where he said that Drew McIntyre said that he wanted to bring the European Championship back so he could win it and retire it. And I saw that. I saw his little interview where he said that. I'd be all for that. I think that I loved the European title when I was a kid. That championship was dope.
As long as he won it in a
British Bulldog held it all the time.
But then
I can't imagine Vince seeing these numbers and thinking, "Hell, boys, we are doing good."
They don't care. They're making billions.
Here's the thing. He probably sees those numbers and goes, all right. But he sees his bank account. Like, they just had the biggest quarter ever. Yep. They just had their most lucrative quarter of all time. So at the end of the day, the shareholders, who are the people that he only cares about pleasing, they see that and they go, oh, keep doing what you're doing. You guys are doing great. You're making us millions and millions and millions of dollars. And Vince knows that he doesn't have to change anything.
Right. And I'm sure that they are writing to keep their jobs, but they're also writing to please one person.
Yes,
so I have to imagine, if I'm a brand new writer on Raw and SmackDown and I'm excited and I come in and I go, I can't wait to come up with an idea for Ricochet, for this, for that, the other. I have to imagine you do come in guns blazing and say, here's all these ideas I have. And the first a few times Vince is like, absolutely not. Or Bruce is like, absolutely not. Yeah, you probably change your writing style to go, you know what? Clearly I'm not what these people are looking for, so I'll just write what they want me to write, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And I'll keep this job as long as I possibly can until they fire me.
Yeah.
And they come up with a whole nother group. Like, that's how I feel. I don't know. Again, I have no ins and outs on that. I just feel like, because you're seeing it, there's just no emphasis. And even like the Roman and Bloodline stuff is getting to the point where it's like, all right, what else can you do? What more can you do? You put the 2 belts on him. He hasn't defended either one of them since he got them. There hasn't even been like, hey, here's a whole list of people for bull shows that are ready to take. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's next?
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
You were going to unify the tag titles, and you didn't do that. And then you just gave us the meaningless 6-man tag, which was good. It was a good match, but it didn't mean a thing. It didn't advance any storyline. It didn't help anybody, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's unfortunate. Well, I didn't know whether we were going to be talking about Wrestlemania Backlash for an hour. That's pretty good.
Well, we did talk for an hour. We 56 minutes into the show, we talked to Celtics basketball.
But I'm saying that was a good thing for Backlash there.
We like our wrestling around here. We get passionate.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that too. I wonder if they're going to get to that.
Yeah, that'd be
cool. That'd be fine with me. I thought that's where they were going. I
thought Nakamura should have won the title at some point already himself.
I would agree. I would agree. All right, I think it's time. Dan, strap in, Dan.
I'm not ready.
You're not ready? You want us to play? A Manscaped video or something?
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm gonna do it the best I can.
Alex, do that. Play the Zach Manscaped opening video. We'll give Pluggo a few minutes to gather his composure. And then we'll come back. And for the first edition, talking A New Hope, episode 4, Pluggo will review Star Wars. Someone get Josh Robinson on the phone. Let him know it's happening.
Oh man, Josh.
So we'll play a sponsorship video for Manscaped with our friend of the show. We love him, Zach. And then we'll come back and we'll get to the first edition of Pluggo Review Star Wars. Hit it, Alex.
Hi friends, Zach from lovewrestling.ca here, and I'm here with a package generously given to us from our new friends at manscaped.com. I just thought I'd take the time to unbox and share the contents with you here today. The first thing I want to say is I really appreciate the discretion of this packaging. I need more secrets with my postman, not less. Okay, so first thing I got here is a t-shirt. Your balls will thank you. You mean that figuratively, right? Like they're not gonna, become sentient and make decisions for me. They already make enough decisions for me. When I was unpackaging it, I really appreciated the discretion here, but I also I admire the confidence and the boldness on the very back of this t-shirt. I have been excited about this for days. Get the big packaging out of the way. Big package. Holy cow. I did not expect this. This is impressive. Most lowly with the blade side up. Always use with care. I think I can do that. 4.0 will help reduce nicks, folks, but you gotta use it properly. There's a pull thing. There's a pull tab underneath. Jesus, box never ends. It's like a little adventure. Got some crop preserver, anti-chafing ball deodorant. Very refreshing. Very nice, pleasant odor. It's not like perfumey. It's just like, it's just very fresh. I like that. And then we got the crop reviver. Sorry about the glare. That's awful. So I got the preserver and the revivers. If I forget to use the preserver, then I got the reviver to help me. I've played RPGs. And lastly, the main event. There it is, the Lawnmower 4.0. Very nice, very light. It says I'm supposed to charge it first, but I'm wondering. Oh yeah, there we go. Can hear that baby purr. Oh, it's got a little light too. How handy is that? Well, friends, this is a very nice product. If you want to get your hand on the Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped, just head over to manscaped.com, and I'm even going to do you one better. Just enter our promo code LOVEWRESTLING. You're going to get 20% off, and you're going to get free shipping. How good is that? And thank you once again to manscaped.com for this very generous Lawnmower 4.0 and accessories and t-shirt. My name is Zach Ralph. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. Pluggo. Deep breath, man. Deep breath. But yes, that was Zach showing off.
Take care of your balls. They don't want to look like Chewbacca.
Correct.
I know who that is now.
Yes, I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. We had our friends Prairie Pro Wrestling popping in here saying Pluggo just starting to watch Star Wars now sounds more like a last hope to me. But we're gonna get him. I'm telling you, by the time he gets to he's gonna be in. He's going to be in, but we're going to
save my comments until after we run the, and I'll keep it short and sweet for social media.
So friends in the chat, get ready for the first edition. Here it comes of Pluggo reviewing Star Wars.
Pluggo reviews Star Wars. Meh, 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 meh.
Should have kept the hood on, bro. The hood on would have worked for a Sith.
Pluggo What's a Sith, bro? Anyway.
Go ahead, Pluggo. The floor is yours. Okay, give him the solo. Give him the solo, Alex.
No, don't put me on the spot like that. That's fine. Whatever we got to do. All right. So after weeks and weeks of ridicule and years of ridicule from Mrs. Pluggo, I finally decided to sit down, watch Star Wars for the first time ever. No jokes. Never seen it. Never was gonna watch it, but I did it. And so there was a great debate on how to watch it. What should I do? Blah, blah, blah. I went release date. Well, I, being the guy that I am, put it on socials that I started watching. I started with Return of the Jedi by mistake. So I'm 20 minutes in. I have no idea what's going on in the slightest. There's like C-3PO. He's walking through the desert with R2-D2. I'm confused. And everybody tells me that's the wrong one. You need to start with A New Hope. Why did you start there? So then I was like, oh, okay. So I officially started with A New Hope the other night. I watched it. I'm still confused. I still don't know what's going on. C-3PO is a little bit of a whiny robot, in my opinion. Like, what are you doing, bro? Quit complaining. You're a robot. You know it all. You know, whatever. And then, like, Luke Skywalker, is that on his birth certificate? Is he Luke Skywalker? Because, like, his uncle and his aunt were like, no, you're a farmer, bro. You need to stay with us. But then they ended up dying in something, and then he's hanging out with Ben Kenobi, who's also Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, why are they calling him Ben? I'm confused. Then there's the bar. Is that a bar? Is that a club? Everyone's dancing all the time. Like, I'm so out of the loop here. But, you know, R2-D2 did his thing. He kept the mission at hand. He was like, hey, we got to go save Princess Leia. They're Ben Kenobi, your only hope, whatever. I don't know. There's 8 more of these. I'm super confused. I have so many questions. Tell me who shot first. So yeah, I remember that, like, Han Solo, aka Harrison Ford, a young Harrison Ford, that came out like 77. I don't know who shot first, man. I was like, why is he shooting people? Why did he shoot somebody in a bar? And everybody was just like, meh. All right, whatever. And like kept on doing their thing. Like nobody was like, hey, bro, I got to go clean that up. Like I got to go bust that table. You just shot alien juice all over everything. Alex is shaking his head in the background. But yeah, I watched it. I have more questions than answers for the first one. JPJ said I should rate it 1 out of 5. I'm at like a solid 2 right now because I don't know what's going on. But there's 8 more of these. I'm committed. Maybe I'll get more answers as I move on. Like, I don't know half the names still. Like, there's Luke Skywalker, there's Ben Kenobi, there's Obi-Wan Kenobi's, Darth Vader's doing his thing. Yeah, there's just a lot going on. Put JPJ back up on the screen so I can ask him some questions. So hello. And I'm watching this, JPJ. I got to ask you. So this would be the first one that you saw, correct?
This was the first movie released. And this is the first movie that I would assume, besides maybe the younger generation that's currently, that the majority of people saw first.
so I'm watching this thing like, where's like the big magical moment that like everybody's like, this is the greatest movie in cinematic history, and I couldn't find it. I'm just like,
well, it's a saga. You got to watch all three.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel
you gotta watch
like
all three. Once the next one, Empire Strikes Back, is considered by many to be the best of all of them.
Wait, so it's
a lot of them.
Empire, then Jedi,
and then Return of the Jedi. Yes.
Okay,
so that's how that goes. So that's the first trilogy. A New Hope is excellent, though. I personally, A New Hope is my second favorite of the original three.
Like it wasn't a terrible movie. I was just hella confused the whole time, and my 6-year-old son is sitting there mocking me the whole time. He's like, "You've never seen Star Wars?"
Even your kid knows.
Yeah, like he's just dogging me the whole time.
You're gonna do it.
The wife wouldn't let me. Mrs. Pluggo wouldn't let me ask a million questions like I like to do. She's like, "Just watch it." And I'm like, but I have to know what's going on here. I didn't understand the premise at first.
And I 100% agree with Prairie Pro Wrestling is A New Hope is made better once you complete the saga. Absolutely.
But again, and then that's why I feel like I'm not copping out and saying like it was great or not. I just, because like everybody told me these first three are actually like the last three.
No, the middle three.
The middle three now, but whatever. But it was like 4, 5,
yeah,
6,
they were the
1,
last
2,
three
3.
until the new ones. Yeah.
Right. So there's all these, because again, like I was just like, all right, so this dude's now there. I couldn't. It was wild. So the review is it was something.
That Han Solo's cool as shit, and
yeah, he was pretty. He was pretty I did like his just like
a young Harrison Ford is correct. A studly young Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I said that. He looked good. He looked $1 million. I did like the whole like Luke Skywalker's freaking the fuck out on the starship.
Producer Alex, let it play out, bro. Let it play out, bro. Dan's right though. Most of your questions, like you have a lot of questions.
Yeah,
they'll be answered as you go, and that's the best part is they get answered, and you're like, "Oh, shit, this is amazing."
All Mrs. Pluggo told me was like, "Hey, listen, like all these characters in this little bar thing matter." Because I was like, "What are all?" They're just dancing, and again, I started with Return of the Jedi by mistake, so I was hella confused because I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
CP3O is a little bit of a bitch too. Not gonna lie,
I mean,
whines the whole time. He knows everything. He shouldn't complain. R2D2 is the real OG of the whole thing.
I mean, R2D2 is dope. R2D2 is dope.
And, and then Darth Vader, like, he's trying to kill people and trying to get Princess Leia to like spill her beans about the Alliance or the Rebellion or something, and she's like, "Nah, dude, I'm doing that. I don't care what kind of goofy mask you have." Right. And then there was the dude that's like mad at Darth Vader for not getting who's that guy? He has like Darth Vader has like a boss.
Oh, right? He has a boss.
Yeah. Like I thought going into never seeing this, Darth Vader was like the top of the chain, and it's like, no, bro, I'm funding your little goofy mask thing. Like, you better go get the information that I need, and he couldn't get it done.
Oh, that's such a best way. Darth Vader has a boss, man.
Yeah, like
he has a boss. Yeah, he has a boss. Yeah, Palpatine. That's the boss.
Like we have a boss.
Wait, I thought Darth Vader has a boss.
I thought he was like the top of the food chain.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm walking into this thing going, okay, he's obviously he could just crush that dude with his like mind, and he didn't. And I was like, all right,
Governor Tarkin. That's the guy. That's the guy. Bo knows his shit. Bo knows his Star Wars shit right here.
Yeah, he does, and I don't.
Darther Vader. That's it. Yeah, Darther Vader.
Darther Vader, bro.
I hope you'll be here every week, Prairie Pro Wrestling, because we're getting this for 8 more weeks. We're getting this.
So the next one is Empire.
Empire Strikes Back.
Okay,
that's the next one.
So that's
and then you go to Return of the Jedi.
It could be too. I did watch this. So I had a very small window to get this done, and it was Monday night.
There you go. That's what Dan says.
What?
Says you're going into this with a lot more context and knowledge than when a lot of people started watching. So you know some things that they don't explain in this movie, but we'll explain later.
Right.
So there you go.
I'm not completely devoid of like, I know that I did get confused when they kept, is Obi-Wan Kenobi is Ben Kenobi.
Yes.
Why did they just call like they? I was
because he was hiding the fact that he was Obi-Wan.
Why?
Because Obi-Wan is like a legend. He's like a legendary.
You're a legend. Let it out.
No,
man.
not in that world. People want, no.
Luke Skywalker's damn uncle sitting there being like, bro, no, you have to farm. And he's like, no, uncle, I want to be a fucking Jedi. And he's like, no. And then they die. And he goes, I'm just going to go be a Jedi. He didn't even cry. He didn't even they just was like, oh, they're dead. I guess I'm going to go fight Darth Vader now.
Yeah, revenge,
what
bro.
the hell? Revenge. But how did he know Darth Vader
cry when Uncle Ben died?
I don't know. I've never seen that.
You ever seen Spider-Man?
No.
The hell's wrong with you? This is going to turn into a segment of just Pluggo reviews movies. And we're just going to be like, you need to watch all these effing movies.
Okay, Pluggo
Damn
reviews.
it. And that's the thing, right? And that's the thing. If Vader finds out that Obi's alive, there's going to be issues. Obi-Wan's a Jedi. Vader's trying to kill all the Jedi. So Obi-Wan needs to pretend that he's not Obi-Wan because Vader will.
So Darth Vader was attempting to kill Luke Skywalker prematurely before he became an official Jedi, because he wasn't an official Jedi. He was learning, because he was doing like while Harrison Ford's like doing his thing on the starship thing. Obi-Wan's like, look, Luke, go play with your little like training lightsaber thing, and he's like, all right, boss. And so he's not even an official Jedi, and he's already trying to get off.
Well, I mean, you gotta watch. Answers will happen. Answers will come. Answers will come. We'll talk more about it next week. We're gonna play the theme song to end this segment again because it's amazing. We're gonna talk again next week when we talk review number 2. When next week Pluggo reviews Star Wars Empire Strikes Back.
Oh,
Dan says anyone that can cause Vader problems he wants dead. So
okay, well,
Vader. He's not the boss. Vader has a boss. Everyone has a boss. But Vader is the but yes, next week for the second installment, Empire Strikes Back. But Pluggo reviews Star Wars. Hit that shit again.
Pluggo reviews Star Wars.
Excellent.
Man, by the way, shout out to Alex, our producer, for throwing that together. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm interested to see how Alex chops that clip up for socials, because there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. That was a good first installment.
The comment, like, okay, so I'm going to ask again. I know we're done with like the official segment, but I am going to blanketly statement, ask our fans, ask you. So you watch this as your first go around. Like I said, like if this movie was a standalone movie, I don't think I'd ever watch it again. I'm going to say that right now. But once I get through the rest, am I going to want to circle back and go, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because right now I'm going, I watched it. Am I going to do this again? I don't know, because I'm super confused.
I think when you watch, I think when you get to the end of these 3, then you go to watch number 1, 2, 3. And really 1, 2, 3, the main story of that is how Darth Vader becomes Darth Vader. And then you'll have the story that leads into why Darth Vader is what he was, So I think by the time you get through everything, like Bo says, you're going to want to go back and be like, all right, let me at least rewatch this to see if all the shit makes sense now.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
The force
that was good. That was good. Look at Bo said, awesome segment. I hope he can make them all. Well, hopefully we'll load them all to the interwebs. If you give us a follow on Twitter at B2Beards.
Yeah, and have
not following. Yeah.
And I was going to say, have no fear, because we sprung for the Twitter Blue package.
Yeah, so we did.
We can upload longer clips.
Yes, we can. We have the capacity to upload
Facebook,
longer
they
clips.
don't care. Put whatever you want on.
So we will make sure that we at least put all these Pluggo review Star Wars segments on our socials, on our Facebook. But yeah, hopefully you'll be here every week, every Thursday with us for them. But that was good. That was good. All right, a few more things I want to talk about in the wrestling landscape, and then we shall get out of here. But on Raw, we did get a big return on Raw. In the women's division, we got the return of Alexa Bliss. Shot in the arm. She had been gone for a while. She came back, had the old music, the old gear. She did have the Lily doll.
Merchandise, baby.
Oh, look at this. Interviewing Sheik there for the upcoming PPW
Nice.
Championship match. Then shortly around 10, we will be with Major Love Wrestling.
Oh,
absolutely.
Don't you worry. We were going to shout
oh, yeah.
boys
We were going to
love
get to that.
dudes.
Oh, yeah. We were going to get to that. Appreciate the love, my friend. Hopefully we'll see you back here next week.
Bobby
for a little
and
bit
Papa
in the chat.
Smokes kill it on that MLW.
Yeah,
review.
if you watch MLW or you want to learn more about MLW, you stick around after us every Thursday. Papa Smokes and Bobby, Major Love Wrestling, the best MLW review show you will find. Those guys know their shit.
Bobby
stick around.
Looney Munson, as I like to call him, because Looney is Canadian for money, baby.
Yeah, so after we get out of here, whenever we finish, usually within a few minutes after us or a little bit after us, they pop on. So, yeah.
And they couldn't be nicer, dudes. Like, if we want to run late one night and do some goofy stuff, they're
like we did the NFL draft special a couple
they're
weeks
like,
ago, and they were like,
whatever.
yeah, whatever, dude, we'll make it work. So they're really cool, and they're a good follow for us. They're
Unlike
good,
Spencer, who's like, don't spend my money.
I know. Well, guess what? We back at it anyway. Absolutely, my friend, always. So enjoy, have a good interview, and we will see you very soon, my friend.
Uh-oh.
So Nightbot's yelling at somebody.
Oh, Bo Hayes got yelled at by Nightbot.
Nightbot's yelling at somebody. But yeah, no, it was good to see Alexa back.
Yeah.
Always one of my favorites. I'm excited to see where she goes. Automatic main eventer on the Raw scene. The Raw women's roster is loaded. They have Bianca, they have Becky, they have Alexa now, they have Asuka, they have Rhea, they have Liv, they have there's people I'm forgetting that are still really like they have we were just talking about how many people on SmackDown they don't have. How SmackDown has nobody. And Raw has like 5 or 6 people. I didn't even mention Doudrop.
And I know I'm going off on a different vehicle here than you were trying to go down, but remember, like, it felt like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, we were talking about how loaded SmackDown was.
Yep.
And how Raw needed all this help. And it's like, I don't understand why they can't just even out both shows with the talent they have. It always feels like one show is getting more talent than the other. Like, I don't understand. Like, Cody being on Raw is cool and all, but man, SmackDown could have used, I mean, even the SmackDown's like men's scene is a little light at times. Like, you just don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's an emphasis from networks to say, hey, we need more. But if you're Fox, you're like, bro, I gave you like $1 billion.
Yeah.
Can we get some talent over here?
Yeah.
I assume when Bayley comes back, she'll be on SmackDown. I would imagine. I don't think that they put her on Raw.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. And, I don't know. But I feel like Alexa being back is a good shot in the arm for the women's division. Former multi-time women's champion on Raw and SmackDown. She was the first woman to win both the Raw and SmackDown titles. Grand Slam champion. She's legit.
People forget about her a lot, but
she doesn't get mentioned as much as she should. Like, when she first came up, I felt like she was treated right up there with the four. Like, it was like the 4 horsewomen and her. Like, she was a multi-time champ. She beat Ronda when she cashed in for the title. Like, there were, she's right up there, and she has been treated. I mean, obviously the Fiend stuff was a long
She's
story,
part of that 6 women that they focus on. Yeah. It's Asuka, her, and the 4 horsewomen.
Yeah.
And like, you need something different, or you need a reliable champion. You just throw the title on Alexa Bliss and she'll make the best of it, whatever you give her. Heel,
100%.
face. She made the most of that stuff they were doing with the Fiend when it got goofy. Like, when it was still, obviously, when it was still really good, she was money. But when it started to get even goofier, she still made the best of it.
Mm-hmm.
She's super talented.
So that was good to see. One more thing I will say about Raw quickly. We don't even have to really dive into it if you want. I just want to say it. I love the Ezekiel stuff.
No, dude, totally.
I love it.
Again, another, like, it's weird because we always talk about
Love it.
good creative.
Yeah,
good...
love pro wrestling, baby.
Woo!
You know it. Let's go.
What is that? Yeah,
Hello.
coming up in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Love Pro Wrestling 4 time.
Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
On the show.
It's a very well-known fact throughout the Love Wrestling offices that if the two of us would stop spending so much money, we would probably get tickets up there to go. But
it's true.
Instead, we give the people back. We give the fans. Like that intro for Pluggo reviews Star Wars, that was expensive.
That was.
Alex
to get those graphics,
not cheap.
Correct. Warren Hayes when he pops on, not cheap. Sean Ross Sapp, very not cheap.
Very not cheap.
Very not cheap.
That house that he's boasting about on Fightful, I'm pretty sure we paid for half of it.
Oh, he's Elias's younger brother.
He is Ezekiel.
It's Ezekiel, but I love all of it. I love Kevin Owens. He's magnificent. I love Chad Gable when he's been involved. Excellent. I love Ezekiel. I saw Sean Ross Sapp mention it too, but Ezekiel's facial expression when he found out that Ken Owens was actually Kevin Owens, when he was like he was like shocked. It's tremendous. It's so funny. And it's just great. The segments are might be the most entertaining stuff on Raw. I think that stuff and the Cody stuff, I think without question is the best stuff on Raw. And RK Bro is excellent.
I think, and I've said this, I think before, I don't want them to ever reveal it other. Like I want Kevin Owens to be at his Hall of Fame speech, still not knowing if that was Elias or not. And I want, if they ever go back to Elias, I never want him to be like, yeah, I was Ezekiel, bro. Never. I want them to run that thing for the rest of that. Should just be in lore because it's so good now. And the only way it's going to stay good is if you don't play with it and you just Kevin Owens at his Hall of Fame speech brings it up and you're still like, I don't know. Are you sure? Like everybody's like, no, that's Ezekiel, bro. Like, I love that he's the only one that's like, is nobody else seeing this? Because that's fantastic.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason why I love it so much is I agree with Dan. Is when I first saw Ezekiel, I thought that segment was good because Kevin Owens was hilarious. But when I first saw Ezekiel, I immediately was like, no way this works. No way. And it has. They have been brilliant. Those segments have been absolutely incredible. They've all been very funny. He's over. The segments are getting over.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really a testament to all of those guys. Owens, Gable. Like it's been such good stuff.
And that's
such good stuff.
The theme of like what we've been talking about tonight with the writers and this, like, good talent can get bad creative over, but talent that maybe isn't where a Kevin Owens is in terms of like his seat at the table type deal needs good creative to help them get there. Mm-hmm. Like Kevin Owens, if he debuted today with this gimmick, might not have worked, right? Like, because he's not established, he hasn't. So you've got to give these people good creative to get him over. But we can tell exceptional talent gets bad creative over, because there's no way. Well, like you said, when this first started, we were like, this is gonna suck. But they have made do and they've made it work. And their Chad Gable, his involvement has been fantastic.
So good.
The Street Profits got involved. They made it work. Yeah. You know, the drink getting thrown in his face. Like,
it's been excellent. It's been so good. It's been so good. So I just wanted to at least mention that because thoroughly, I didn't watch it live on Raw, but I made sure to watch it because I heard some people chatting and I was just like, this is just so good. It's incredible. All right. You want to talk a little Dynamite and then get out of here?
Yeah, we can talk about my awful predictions.
We'll just quickly run through Dynamite and talk about. I know obviously last night and most Wednesdays, you know, a couple of us might duck out here or there if working, shoot job or whatever. But Astrid, Pluggo, and myself every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on this same channel, we do the All Elite Sidecast. I agree. We were talking about last night. You were popped in for a little bit.
Yeah. Keith Lee looks great.
Last night his arms looked jacked as hell. He looked huge.
He's like, I'm gonna kill somebody.
Yeah. And I think he's equally as good at both. I think Kevin Owens is just
I'm pretty
amazing.
sure Keith Lee's biceps are bigger than my gut, and that says a lot because I am chunky.
Oh man, yeah, he is looking very, very good. But yeah, so we do All Elite Sidecast. So if you ever wanted to watch Dynamite with some friends and chat and shoot the shit, very much like kind of we're doing here tonight. Love Wrestling here at 8 o'clock on this channel is where to go because we always have a really good time. And that's where we're going to start. That was the opening match of the show. Adam F. Cole versus Dax Harwood in the Owen Hart. Yeah, I have those, sadly. Owen Hart Foundation men's tournament quarterfinals was Adam Cole versus Dax Harwood. And this was the start of a rough night for Pluggo. Oh, Pluggo stated, and I'll save the other one for later. But at the beginning of the show, Pluggo stated who he thought was winning both the women's and men's Owen Hart tournament. And his pick for the men's was Dax Harwood. And after a hard-fought match, it was a very good match. Dax Harwood is a really good performer in tag team or singles. He's excellent. Adam Cole won to move on. And right out the chute, Pluggo's pick for the men's tournament winner, gone.
Let me pull back the curtain a little bit. All I'm going to say is I don't care what it is. You put a bracket out there for any wrestling promotion, any tournament, whether I've heard the names or not, I'm going to fill it out because I love brackets. I love brackets. It's fun. And I was like, oh, I'm going to make these picks. I felt like Dax Harwood should have at least had a first round win, run it a little bit, play up the fans because he's the guy. Yeah. Him and Cash should have been so open about like, this is what we want. And like, we're huge Hart family fans. We love it all. And then they're just like, nope. And I was like,
and I think,
damn it.
Dan sums it up really well. The HBK fanboy making the Bret Hart fanboy tap out to a sharpshooter was great.
Yeah.
Because Adam Cole is a huge Shawn Michaels guy, and clearly Dax is a huge Bret Hart guy. And the sharpshooter being the finish, that was a great finish.
So are we saying that Shawn Michaels is better than Bret
I'm
Hart?
not.
Is that what they were saying on Dynamite? But no, I mean Adam Cole
is better than Dax Harwood.
Got a ton of he played it up really well. I mean, Adam Cole winning is not a bad decision. I just, of course, I had wanted to go with but again, even like the booking, like the way the matchups, I didn't do well in the next match in the tournament either. Like the booking was kind of weird. You didn't need to do some of these matches. Like I didn't think you needed to do Dax versus Adam Cole.
Yeah, it's fair.
But I mean, hey, whatever. The match ruled. It was awesome. It's a match that I would go back and watch again. I thought it was that good, so I'm not complaining. Just my bracket is now destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, I have Adam Cole in the finals, so I'm good.
Whatever.
I'm good. I agree with Dan and Laura the Man. Bret over Shawn forever for me. So I agree. Yep, and the Bret Hart tights on Dax as well. It's just I love all of it. Yeah. I love all of it. We then saw CM Punk go one-on-one with John Silva, which was a quick little good match. Hangman Adam Page was at commentary, and we saw towards the end, Punk gave him a little bit of a stare down, and Punk actually won this match with the buckshot lariat, which I loved. And then afterwards, they got right in each other's face. Punk cut a great promo saying, hey, man, it looks like you're starting to take this personally. This is just business, brother. And, I usually ask myself in the mirror if I'm a good man or not. But today I woke up and I asked myself if I'm the champ. And I think I'm the champ. And it was really good. And Punk offered him a handshake. And Hangman flipped him the bird right in his face. And that's starting to heat up a little bit, that feud. Yeah. I think Punk is going to lean heel in this feud because Hangman is such an over babyface. Hangman did cut a heelish promo last week on Dynamite a little bit, and Punk was obviously in Long Island, where last time he was in Long Island, he was feuding with MJF, who's a hero in Long Island, and the fans definitely remembered that, and he kind of trolled him a little bit by wearing a John Tavares Long Island jersey, and Tavares ditched Long Island to go to, I think, the Maple Leafs or somewhere else. I'm not huge on hockey, but I believe Tavares is like he was like the best player on the team for a long time, and then he kind of stiffed him high and dry and left and went somewhere else. So it was kind of a troll job, even though it was an Islanders jersey. But yeah, I thought it was really good.
You hit it on the head. Hangman is such an over baby face that there's just no point to turn, because you have to turn somebody heel, I guess. And Punk is obviously self-aware enough to know, like, we can't stop. And if Punk wins in a heelish way at Double or Nothing, it still keeps that sympathy baby face Hangman, and they'll run it back.
Yeah.
Because they've been doing that lately. They've run things back and do some rematches, whether they need to or not. I don't know. That's a discussion for another day. But yeah, Punk is very self-aware, knowing, like, I'm really good at this shit. I could out heel Hangman, and I don't think the crowd would even get behind a heel Hangman and be like, oh, they'd be more disappointed. Because, like,
yeah, I agree.
And I think you just don't want to lose the steam there. So yeah, Punk is going to heal it up, man. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to be excited. He's going to be AEW World Champion. I can't wait.
I agree. We then got the AEW in-ring debut of Danhausen versus Tony Nese. Danhausen lost this match almost immediately.
3.3 seconds.
But it was really what happened afterwards that was the real story. But we get the debut. Tony Nese literally beats him in like a minute or something like that. That shocked me. I was not expecting that part of it. It was very bizarre to me. But afterwards, Sterling gets on the mic. He says, Tony Nese is the premier athlete. No one should be shocked. And Nese starts attacking Danhausen again after that, which leads to Hook coming out. And when Hook comes out, Tony Nese and Sterling retreat. And then Danhausen offered his hand to Hook. And Hook shook his hand. And we have Hookhausen. Officially, they are announced for a match. They're going to be fighting. Mark Sterling going to be in the ring as a performer. It will be Tony Nese and Mark Sterling versus Hookhausen at the Double or Nothing. I think it'll be on the buy-in, they said. But, yeah, Hookhausen is here. And I'm going to be honest with you, Bo. Last night was the first match of Danhausen's I was going to see. I have never seen him wrestle. I've only seen the videos and, like, how he kind of
And I think that's a huge disservice to Danhausen, as much as it makes sense, I guess. But, like, there's so many intricacies to his matches that, like, at least give it some time to, like, show something. I know that he's not a serious character, but if that's your first, JPJ, that's your first time seeing Danhausen, what did you think?
I mean, I can't judge it. It was nothing. It was a fucking squash. He literally got squashed. He lost a minute.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, so I'll reserve judgment until I start seeing some normal matches, or like longer matches.
Well, because there's an entire section of the world that doesn't get Danhausen, don't understand it. They think it's just this goofy character, which it is. It's hard to explain. But the people that have followed Danhausen know the guy can wrestle, and you're trying to like show like this dude can go, and then they're like, well, he just lost to Tony Nese, and people are like, who? Tony Nese? I haven't seen that dude wrestle on Dynamite since I don't know if I've ever seen him wrestle on Dynamite. He's a Rampage guy.
Yeah.
But what do you do with Tony Nese now? You just basically made Tony Nese look out to be like a badass.
Well, now you can throw him into, you can start, doing something.
I guess.
I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed about the actual match. But what happened afterwards was awesome. Excellent. Awesome. I'm all for Hookhausen. We then got MJF giving his rules to Wardlow. MJF, the hero, the babyface in his hometown of Long Island. So he was the hero of the evening, getting cheers. But he said he's bringing back the lashings. So he says that Wardlow is going to take 10 lashings. And then I believe he said that after that, he's going to have to face Shawn Spears in a steel cage match. And if he can take the lashings and then beat Spears.
Yeah, I know who the Tony Fool is. I'm just saying. Or like the general public.
Yep. So if he gets, he's going to whip him with the belt 10 times. If he gets through that, he'll face Shawn Spears inside of a steel cage with a special guest referee. And that special guest referee will be none other than Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. And if he gets through all that, then Wardlow will get his match at Double or Nothing. And MJF said that if Wardlow wins, he's out of his contract with MJF. But if he loses, he can never sign a contract with AEW. So that's where they're going. And then we saw Wardlow pretend that he couldn't sign the contract because of the handcuffs. MJF, very foolishly, tells his security guards to, hey, take the handcuffs off him. It's fine. Wardlow signs the contract, and then he proceeds to beat the ever-loving shit out of everybody. Gets the best of Shawn Spears. It's just him and MJF. He starts to get the best of MJF, but Mark Sterling comes to the rescue, and Mark Sterling gets powerbombed through the table. That's how the segment ends. Wardlow, even in Long Island, by the end of the segment, was over. Crowd losing their mind for Wardlow, even though at the beginning of the segment they were booing him out of the building because MJF was winning him over. It was excellent. It was very good. They have built this story to perfection. Wardlow is a star. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
What do you think is a bigger mistake? MJF having his security guards take the handcuffs off of Wardlow, or Spencer giving us access to the company card?
Oh, definitely Spencer.
Okay.
Definitely Spencer.
Yeah, no, it was a good segment though overall. I mean, again, I do worry a little bit. I know that MJF is super good, and I know that this is a great story they're telling, but this is the same story that MJF tells. Like, oh, you want to get through me, you got to go through X, Y, and Z. Now that's what you got to do. Yeah, well, in this instance, it makes sense and it works really well. I just hope eventually that they come up with something else, and MJF just has to, not go through labors of this, labors of that. And again, if you're like Tony Khan in kayfabe sense, aren't you like, wait a minute, I want Wardlow on this roster. Screw you, MJ. Which, by the way, come out today.
That was a report today. I was going to dive into it here.
All that.
So apparently,
maybe they get involved on screen.
Yeah, things are not so rosy when it comes to MJF and Tony Khan and AEW. Apparently, the 2024 thing is very real. And apparently MJF is not as high on re-signing with AEW as he was a little while ago. Apparently there was a heated argument, Sean Ross Sapp reported at some point within the last couple months or something. AEW was not happy that he did a podcast or an interview with Ariel Helwani without getting it approved by AEW first, which upset Tony Khan, which I think that's justified. If that's the rule, that's the rule. You got to follow the rules.
Yeah.
So if he did that without following protocol, I think Tony Khan has a reason to be upset. You are an employer. You're an employee. You got to follow the rules. But, yeah, apparently the MJF has not been thrilled with Tony since then. And there's legit speculation that there's a chance when 2024 comes around. Now, that 2024 gives them plenty of time to work this out. They have a year and a half, or almost 2 years. Money cures all, but apparently MJF was also kind of insulted a bit when they started talking about the figures. Apparently they were not where MJF thought that the range should be. But again, he's under contract until 2024. That is plenty of time for them to be chatting and figuring it out.
And I bring it up because this would be the time. If you were going to ever have that bleed over into TV, this would be the time. Wardlow is that guy. I think they can do that.
I don't know if
Wardlow is that guy that Tony Khan would want. And it's just the MJF thing. Like, I understand. Like, we see it in sports all the time especially in like football, like rookie deals. Mm-hmm. And then they outperform that deal.
Oh, yeah.
Or NBA, they
outperform. Look at Debo. It's happening.
And they want more money.
Yeah.
And I could understand MJF. When he started, like, he was unproven. He was hot on the indie scene. People knew who he was in that sense. But ultimately, again, in terms of drawing for a national television audience and a big time promotion, you haven't done it yet. He's done it. He's shown it. And then he sees all these other guys coming in. making, probably 3 times as much as he is. And I can understand why he wants more money. And I say, get yours, like, do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm Tony Khan, and I think of it from a business standpoint, I mean, yeah, I got you till 2024. And who else? There's nobody that's going to outbid me right now. And when 2024 comes up, you could sit on the shelf or you could just work for me. And then I'll just match whatever WWE offers you.
I don't ultimately, think he can, though. If WWE really wants to offer him legit
Tony
money.
Tony Khan's got money too.
Yeah, but I don't think Tony financially. Yes, he does, but I don't think he'd be willing. Cody got. There's reports that he got $3 or $4 or $5 million.
Oh, well,
like that's a lot of money. I'm not saying that Tony Khan and the Khans have that money, but I don't know how many people they're paying that type of money on.
Yeah,
their current roster. Maybe.
Well, I know. Yeah, and I know when they started AEW with the MJFs and the Sammy Guevaras and the Jungle Boys and all those the pillars, if you will, like they were all kind of unproven. We all knew them. They had indie buzz, so you did get them on the cheap because what are you going to give? You're not going to give them $5 million out the gate. You got to prove themselves. But now I don't know. If I'm Tony Khan, I think it might be worth restart. And MJF is like an all-timer type piece for me.
Oh yeah.
Like if if I'm him, I obviously don't give MJF everything he wants, but
you gotta.
If you look at it like this, like Cody, MJF, like I would rather give MJF that money than I would have rather give Cody based on longevity type stuff. Of course. And Cody's an all-time talent as well, but his best years are behind him, and also, there's a high ceiling for MJF. So I hope they figure it out because I think he'll work in WWE, but it won't be the same.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we then saw Ricky Starks versus Jungle Boy for the FTW Championship. I thought this match was solid. What happened was towards the end, it got a little chicanery. We saw Swerve come out and try to stand up to the Team Taz, but he ended up costing or distracting the ref when Jungle Boy would have had a victory to win the title, and then Starks ends up winning, which set up Luchasaurus and Christian coming down, and then Keith Lee eventually. So it looks like when we get the Double or Nothing, there's going to be a multi-team match with at least these 3 teams for the titles, which I'm cool with. So I would love Swerve and Keith Lee to win them. But yeah, no, I'm cool with this. These 3 tag teams are great. You'll have Starks and Hobbs, Swerve and Lee, and then Jurassic Express. Like, that'll be a banger. That's where we're going to go. There was one heel tease where Christian came down. They kind of did whatever, and then they were getting ready to leave. And then Christian turned. Jungle Boy was at the other end of with his back turned to Christian. And Christian did this slow walk across the ring towards it. And the camera angle was dramatic.
That's just because he's old, man.
Yeah, and everyone was like, "Oh, what's this now? Is this it?" Because everyone's expecting Christian to turn eventually. I have always said since day one, I would love it to be Jungle Boy that turn, but I don't know if they're going to go that route yet. But yeah, so that was that. We then got the segment with Yas, the Jericho Appreciation Society. Which led to Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson and the
Yuta coming down,
and Yuta and Regal and the Blackpool Combat Club coming out, and then also Jericho saying, "Well, there's only 3 of you, there's 5 of us," and then we saw Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. So it looks like there's going to be some combination of those guys to match the 5. For the Jericho Appreciation Society. That's going to be fun as hell. Regal punching Jericho was amazing. Regal getting a little physical. I loved. Yeah, I'm all in for this. The Combat Club is one of my favorite things. I love Eddie Kingston. Give me blood and guts with this 5-on-5 here, and I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man.
I think Yuta could sit this one out and maybe defend the pure championship Ring of Honor type deal.
I think so. I think that's the route they go. You get Santana, Ortiz, Kingston, Moxley, and Danielson versus
that's a 5.
Like, that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous 5. And then you get Yas and you make that blood and guts or just a 10-man, but blood and guts would be cool.
But let's be honest. Like,
there you go. Oh, there you go. Dan even said it. He said Yuta is in Japan, so he won't even be there for Double or Nothing. So, Bo, I could not disagree with you more. He says he's not a fan of Eddie Kingston. I love it.
Oh, get out of here.
That is sacrilege in my world.
Oh, I love Eddie.
That is sacrilege in my world. I love Eddie Kingston.
But I just like you look at that 5 on paper, like how do they lose? Like, my God.
They won't.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think they won't. I think they won't.
It'd be the shortest blood and guts match in history.
They'll just ruin people. But
we appreciate your opinion, Bo.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I love Eddie Kingston. I am an Eddie Kingston fan, so I will disagree with that sentiment. But we then saw a really good match, Tony, and this is where Pluggo's night became complete.
No,
because Pluggo had picked Jamie Hayter as his women victor when it came to the women's side of the Owen Hart Memorial Tournament, which means that in the first 2 matches of the semifinals, Pluggo's 2 picks to win the thing, dunzo, because Tony Storm defeated Jamie Hayter to move on to the semifinals. I thought this match was very good. These girls know each other very well. They have fought a lot in Stardom and on the Indies, and it was really good. It wasn't a long match. They got about 10, 11 minutes, but they were going at it the whole way. You could tell they had done this before. Reversals, smooth as hell. Real good match with Tony Storm getting the victory and moving on.
I thought the match sucked. No,
all right.
Only because I lost. No, I thought it was fine. It was a good match. Don't come here for betting advice if you're like, oh, Pluggo's got the...
Yeah, don't listen to Pluggo. You can listen to me. I'll be all right. But you don't listen to Pluggo. And then to round it out here, we had the main event of the evening. A dream match of sorts. Jeff Hardy against Darby Allin in another Owen Hart Foundation men's tournament quarterfinal.
And another loss for Pluggo.
And this was a loss for me too, though. They made it a no DQ match, an anything goes match as the night went on. And we saw Darby Allin take a ridiculous bump off the top of a ladder to chairs set up on the ringside area. My back broke watching it. Holy shit, man. What are we doing? Don't get me wrong. I appreciate you doing it, but holy God.
How does that conversation go in the back?
You can't practice that. You're not practicing that before. That's an idea that you come up with, and they're like, yeah, all right. And nobody's like, what if you miss? Like, what if you mistime your shit? Oh, well. I agree with you, Bo. It was a great match. It was very good.
Who was it last night? I don't want to. It was one of our listeners at the All Elite Sidecast.
Oh, it was Misfit Gamer. He was like Tony Khan. Yeah, he said Tony Khan just when he goes, look, I just need one of you alive to lose to Adam Cole. All right.
Yeah,
I just need one of you alive to lose to Adam Cole.
Because it was a dream match for Darby. You know that they've been drawing the Jeff Hardy comparisons since for a while. Been on the scene. Yep. Yeah, with Darby, and then Jeff joined. AEW, and Darby was loving it. You could see the first night that him and Jeff had interaction, he couldn't hold back smiling. So that Darby was like, well, I'm showing out. This is one of my idols type deal. And Jeff was like, all right, if you're game, let's do it. And Jeff, he's no slouch either. He took some serious bumps that was like onto the stairs, corner of his back, like oh my God. I'm like, Jeff, you don't have to do that, dude. You're a legend. Like you can phone it in if you want. Darby, I just oh my God, that ladder to the chair. Like, how do you just think okay?
Yeah, there were some gnarly spots, man. That ladder spot was ridiculous. Then Darby missed a coffin drop and landed on the hardest part of the ring, the apron there. Then the stair spot that you just mentioned with Jeff. Then Darby hit a coffin drop, and Jeff got a sly roll-up for the victory, which I think kind of shocked us all. I thought Darby would be winning this, but Jeff Hardy getting the victory. And then next week we're getting Jeff Hardy versus Adam Cole. and the semifinals with the winner going to the finals. That should be a hell of a match. But yeah, and that was Dynamite. I thought Dynamite was solid as hell last night. There were a lot of matches had stakes with the tournament, and that's awesome. Matches are always better when there are stakes involved. Yeah,
and that's what AEW's done, man.
Yeah,
they've given most of their matches have a reason or something on the line which makes you more invested. Which again, I wish we would have saw that more at Backlash. But
yeah, I agree. But on that note, that was AEW Dynamite. And on that note, that was Between Two Beards tonight. We talked about a lot of stuff. Basketball, a lot of wrestling to talk about. 2 full show reviews. A movie review. Adam Cole, baby. He's my pick to win it. Adam Cole's my pick. I have him beating Samoa Joe.
And I got to say, we seamlessly transitioned all that news throughout the week into the thing. Yeah. We didn't even get a chance to mention that Hikaru Shida got injured. So
yes, we should talk about that quickly.
Chris Statlander is going to take her spot in the Owen.
Yes.
Which
Shida, I had Shida in the finals for me.
I had Shida. I think
I had Shida in the finals.
So
that's going to change things because don't get me wrong, Statlander rules. I love Statlander, but yeah, that changes things. So that's unfortunate that she got banged up and injured. But Statlander is a formidable replacement. So we'll see how that goes. But yes, we should have mentioned that. So good call on you, Pluggo. I can't be perfect all the time.
You gotta be on this show. Here,
side note,
the
Bruins are still alive. They beat the Carolina Hurricanes tonight to force a Game 7.
We will be baby, gentlemen.
Let's go, baby.
You miss a block on his side.
Oh, Dan's saying that he thinks it's a little bit of a lie and that she's in Japan and really not injured. Maybe. I don't know.
You cut off my remember the Titan speech. You miss a blocking assignment, you run a mile.
It's true. All right. Well, we got to go because apparently I have a mile to run. So,
but we got to go. But stick around after this for Major Love Wrestling as they talk all things MLW this week. A killer show with Bobby and Papa Smokes.
Yeah.
Do you want to
keep plugging your shit? Pluggo, do it. Plug your stuff.
Me to plug I've been doing a lot of talking today. Star Wars. But anyway, you can follow me at Pluggo_ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the TikTok, all that fun stuff. You can see me miss all sorts of picks on my brackets. You can follow us at Between Two Beards at B2Beards on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're everywhere. We are
everywhere. Give us a follow. We had some new friends in the chat, Bo, things like that. Give us a follow on there. Come back every Thursday. Let's do this damn dance every Thursday. This is what we do. You guys are as much a part of the show as we are. We bring up all your comments. You don't got to pay to leave a comment to get it shown on screen here. We talk to all of you. So, yeah. Follow us at B2Beards literally everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. Follow Pluggo. I'm on Twitter at Joseph_Poulin Jr. You can find me on Facebook at JPJ Loves Wrestling. You can find me on
Thursdays?
YouTube at what?
Thursdays? Did you just drop an episode?
Well, yeah. You can find me on Thursdays on our friend Josh Robinson's Twitch channel. We had an episode drop this morning. It drops usually early morning time for us over here in the States of the J&J Power Hour, where we talked about Backlash and kind of the WWE landscape a little bit. But that's a fun thing that I do. We love Josh. Huge friend of the show, Josh here.
We stand for Josh Robinson on this
account. We do. Give me a follow over on Twitch at JPJ Loves Wrestling. Going to be starting to hopefully get back into the streaming MLB The Show, WWE 2K22, some other stuff, just kind of working on upgrading my set and getting everything proper. But most importantly, give us a follow at Love Wrestling. We got stuff all weekend. Sunday brunch on Sunday. Major Love Wrestling tonight after us. We got NXT on Tuesdays. We have Blowing Off Stream on Saturdays where we get together and game. We got stuff all the time. Turnbuckle Talk on Tuesdays. Power Out and NXT on Tuesdays. Wednesday nights, All Elite Sidecast with us two and our girl Astrid. We got stuff all over the place. So give us a follow. Thank you all for being here. We love y'all. And we will see you next Thursday for the 52nd, 1 full year.
Woo!
1 full calendar year next year. Our 52nd episode. Next week, not next year. What did I say? Next year? Sorry. Well, technically, yeah. Next week. Our 1 year
anniversary next year.
Yes.
We're gonna have 51 episodes.
But that means
shout out to the Ecto guy for that awesome graphic he did.
The Star Wars thing.
Star
And
Wars thing.
make sure you're here next week to stay tuned for the second installment of that as we talk a little bit of Empire Strikes Back. But until next week, thank you to Ecto Guy for producing the show. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate all of you. We love all of you. And Pluggo and I will see you next Thursday for another episode of Between Two Beards. Until then, peace out.